Welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doulas, a podcast where we talk to experts from all over the country about topics related to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and early parenting. Let's chat.
Hello. This is Kristen Revere with Ask the Doulas, and I am thrilled to chat with my friend Darcy Sowers today. Darcy is known as the Doula Darcy. She is a doula business coach and marketing strategist. Since 2010, Darcy has built a thriving postpartum doula business, now Doula Agency in New Hampshire, with her team of postpartum doulas handling the day-to-day in-person clients. Darcy spends her time and energy helping other doulas grow and scale their businesses with a focus on sustainability and not burning themselves out. Prior to having her own 3 children and becoming a doula, Darcy worked for 10 years in the advertising and marketing world. She was able to replace her corporate income quicker than most new doulas because of her previous career and expertise. Darcy now uses this experience to help other doulas build their own thriving practices. Welcome, Darcy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be a guest on your podcast. I love it.
Happy to have you here. And since you are the social media expert and marketing expert, we are going to talk about how to find the perfect birth or postpartum doula through social media channels. And for our listeners who are doulas themselves, we can touch a bit on how they can market themselves to families.
Yeah.
Excited to hear your tips.
So my tips are, it works out. It's the same for both parents and for doulas. I'm always saying when I'm teaching doulas about marketing that you can't just be a TikTok star. You can't just, put 2 posts up on Instagram and then never go back.
Right.
You have to also have a good website that really showcases your experience, your testimonials, your certifications, like your websites, like your deep dive about your doula services. And so for parents, like you want to make sure you're finding a doula that has that you can go find that all when you're ready to hire them. But first, you're probably going to find your doulas. Your clients are probably going to find you on social media or through a Google search. So you've got to show up. So for parents, I really encourage you to, first of all, ask your friends and family, like, who are the doulas you know? Who have you used? Who have you heard good things about? And then go do a deep dive on them. Like, go watch their TikTok videos, go watch their Instagram reels and videos and posts, because you can really get such a good idea about their energy, their personality, their values as a doula from watching a few videos and reading through a few of their posts and a little bit of their writing. And then when you find someone that you quote unquote make a connection with through the interwebs, then that's when you can go to their website and do the deep dive and make sure they're credentialed, make sure they've done the training, make sure they have the experience you're interested in, read through their testimonials. So I really just think the internet is such a blessing. For hiring a doula is a very personal decision. And this is someone you're going to work very closely with. I always say, they're going to see you naked at your birth, or they're going to come into your home and take care of you 2 days after you've just had a baby, like literally the most vulnerable time of your life. You want to make sure this is a person that you gel with. And that is so much easier to do now. I should say that I'm 51 years old. So I just look at things through the lens of social media makes that so much easier. You can, from your couch, watch a few videos, get someone's vibe, and then decide okay, yeah, I'll give them a call. Versus before the internet, you'd have to make 10 phone calls, call around, chit chat without seeing the person, and then go do a bunch of interviews. It just would take a lot more work to get that first impression vibe check on a doula that you can get now on the internet, which is so great.
So true. And you can get a feel for, again, the values. Now, we both own agencies. So a lot of times, other than the sleep consultants on my team who will do videos, the videos are from me, unless it happens to be during our team photo shoot time when we get some videos taken of the doulas. But they still need to do I do the matchmaking, but the clients may not get a feel for my entire team the way they would for the values of the business, what we stand for, and then my own personality as owner.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know how big your agency is. My agency is kind of small, and I have like 6 to 8 doulas working for me, and we all have a pretty similar vibe. So
Nice.
I feel like and like you said, I do put pictures of them up. And the other thing is, like, as an agency owner, you can put up, I have testimonials just about Erica. I put those on the social media so that people can kind of read those. And then again, they click through the website where they can read everybody's full bio. But
so helpful. Yeah. And not all doulas have websites. And I do feel like, yes, they might find you on TikTok or Instagram. Occasionally, I will get messages on Facebook or some other social media channels, but most of the time I'm getting a phone call or they're going to my website. So even if they see an Instagram post and message me there, a lot of the time they're doing more research. And as you said, looking at testimonials of the different doulas or the sleep consultants. And my team hovers around 25 every year. So we're a mid-sized agency. So it is hard to, get all of the doulas to be on video or find other ways to get to know them other than reading a bio and seeing their photo.
Yeah. And if there's a doula out there that doesn't have a website, I just think in this day and age, you have to, because parents want to do their due diligence, or they should do their due diligence. That's my message to parents. There's a lot. And actually, Kristen, we were talking about this before we hit record. There's a lot of doulas out there in the world now, which is great, but not all doulas are trained in the same manner. So I think parents really need to do their due diligence and not just take a doula at their word that they're a doula, and ask them questions about their certification, ask them questions about their training, ask them questions about their experience. And again, do a deep dive on their website, like make sure they're checking all these boxes before you go and hire them to come to your birth or come into your home.
Yes, those mom groups, whether it's Baby Center or certainly the Facebook parenting and pregnancy groups, are a great place to ask again about experience with a particular doula or agency like ours and get a feel for personal referrals. If you don't have a friend who hired a doula or a sleep consultant or took a particular childbirth class.
Exactly. Yeah. Facebook mom groups are gold for stuff like that too. Yeah.
Finding a provider and nanny, like all of the things, even outside of the doula world.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But there is a difference between influencers. And I feel like, you get this with your social media consulting and marketing consulting. We feel like we have to do all the things and post videos on social like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Before we hit record, we were talking about all the different services my agency offers and how I feel like we touch on everything, but it's really challenging to tell the full story when you don't offer one specific niche, like sleep consulting, for example. I could talk sleep consulting all day, but I don't want to overshadow other services like overnight newborn care and birth doula support and our classes. So I feel like as doulas, our time is so limited and we often don't know how to focus unless we hire a professional like yourself.
Yeah. When doulas hire me, I always give them the recommendation that really, back to the website, the bulk of your effort should be in the website, because someone like you, Kristen, who has so many different services, like a website can showcase all of that. You can have a different page for every different service, every class, and you have unlimited space to share all the details. That's hard to do in a 7-second Instagram reel or a 30-second TikTok video. But I like to look at, like, your website is where all your information is for the people that are ready to do the deep dive. And then social media, like, you do not, as a doula, need to be posting 3 or 5 times a day or whatever big marketers want to say. Having a consistent presence there is really important, because back to the parents, if I'm scrolling around, and actually a doula I just had a consult with yesterday, I was like, well, let me bring up your Instagram. She hadn't posted in 2 years. And she had like 21 posts. And the most she had a pinned post, and then her most recent post was from 2023. So actually 3 years. I'm forgetting it's 2026. And I said, listen, if I was a parent, I would not hire you, because I would think you've gone out of business if you haven't posted in 3 years. So you have to be showing up there consistently, but it does not have to be 3 times a day. Once a week is fine. And again, as a parent, you ask for doula recommendations in the mom Facebook groups. You get a few names. I would probably go to Instagram first to get that personalized feel. You're going to scroll back. In that case, like, Instagram and TikTok kind of turn into a website, in that if someone's interested in you because you've been recommended, they're going to scroll back through your last few posts. They don't have to have all been made this week. They're going to scroll through the past couple months of posts if you're posting once a week. Again, get an idea of your energy, your vibe, your values. And then if they're still interested, they'll go to your website to get the full information. But I think we can get over the idea of, oh my gosh, I have to tell every single thing about everything I do on Instagram every day. And
yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. And we don't have time for that, because we're off supporting our clients. Like, you go to a birth, you're there for 20 hours. Like, you don't have time to post on Instagram 3 times a day.
Exactly. What does comfort that carries you from morning to night feel like? This March, Cozy Earth crafts every piece with care, from soft, supportive socks for your steps through the day to breathable comforters that help you rest deeply at night. Every detail is intentional, so your everyday feels quietly elevated. A small grounding comfort designed for everyday life. Cozy Earth Essential Socks are soft, breathable, and thoughtfully cushioned to support you from your first step to your last. With 4 versatile styles: calf, quarter, ankle, and no-show. Each pair is crafted with care to fit seamlessly into your routine. An everyday essential where quiet comfort meets intentional design. As you pack your birth bag, think about keeping your feet warm during and after labor. The socks are also wonderful for nesting in with baby during maternity leave. Self-care truly matters. Discover how care in every detail transforms simple routines into moments of true comfort and ease. Head to cozyearth.com and use my code GOLDCOAST for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth on the Ask the Doulas podcast. Experience the craft behind the comfort and make every day feel intentional. I know there are templates and, you can hire social media managers, but that gets costly, especially because you consult with a lot of newer doulas. So there may be actually more time on their hands as they're trying to build their business than money to invest in things like a social media manager or a big packet of templates. But over time, then it's better to invest services, VAs, and vendors that can help make your social media work for you, basically.
Right. And though my little caveat to that is that, again, as a parent, you're going and you're checking out a doula's social media to essentially, I always say it boils down to this. You're going there to check out their social media to see if this is someone like that you're comfortable seeing you naked. So we don't want AI to have written our posts as doulas. We don't want a VA to have just made some Canva graphics. Like we want our authentic voice and personality and our words coming through. So I really, especially like you said, new doulas that have the time, I really encourage doulas to put the time and energy into putting their own authentic voice and views and personality into their social media.
100%. And that extends to newsletters and blogs.
Yeah.
I can tell if something is written by AI.
Yeah.
And you and I have similar backgrounds. I mean, I went to college for journalism, and I'm not going to have AI write for me. Yeah. It is a time saver for administrative tasks and like even brainstorming. I can see some benefits, but you can certainly tell when a doula is having AI write all of their content and write their website copy.
Right.
And
I mean, I think I get, like you said, AI is such a great tool and such a time saver. But I think as doulas, we are in like the most human business that there is. Like doula support is all about human connection. So whenever, it's not like we're selling microwaves or something that, sure, let a robot write our newsletter or our posts about this. Like we have to pour our humanness into our marketing. There's a great quote by Michael Hyatt. I mean, people see me coming and they're like, oh my God, she's talking about marketing and social media. Like, I don't want to, that's so salesy and gross and slimy. But no, I love this quote from Michael Hyatt where he says that marketing is really just about sharing your passion. And I love to tell that to doulas because I have never met a doula that wasn't passionate about the clients that they work for, birth in general, postpartum in general, babies, all of it. So if you think of marketing and writing your social media posts in that way that you're sharing your passion, A, it gets a lot easier to do. B, it's a lot more effective because it's going to make a better connection with those parents that are out there looking. So if you're a parent listening, like, and maybe this is just me, but if I saw posts from a doula that were obviously written by AI, that would turn me off. Like I don't know. It really bothers me, the whole AI, when I see doulas that are just copying and pasting and posting AI written stuff. We as doulas our job is to show up and listen and support when no one else is doing that. So we can't do that with your marketing as well. So
right. I am with you 100%. And I love that you post frequently about this because I do believe that we have to be our authentic selves. That's how I don't even like to look at it as competition, but that's how we separate ourselves from other doulas. And that's how our potential client can find the right match. And if they're confused by a doula's voice, if that voice is something that is AI driven, or they bought a template that every doula in their area is also using, then where's their unique vision and what makes them different? So, which we all have differences, and whether it's trainings or background, what our doula superpowers are.
I always say that like hiring a doula is kind of like dating. Like you meet someone and like, within a few seconds if this is a no or a yes. And again, you can't put a robot in there, play around with that energetic exchange. And to your point, Kristen, of like when there's a lot of doulas in the area, if there's a lot of doulas in your area and they're all writing their posts with AI, like that's a great chance for you to stand out and just write your own posts. I was listening to a great podcast with James Wedmore, and he was saying like, yeah, ChatGPT makes it easier to market yourself. ChatGPT does make it easier to pump out content, but that just means everyone's pumping out content, and you're actually going to stand out if you are posting quality versus quantity. And I think that just goes 10 times more for doulas because, again, our job is so heart-centered. Our job is so human and in person, and we can't let that go. So
that is one thing. I mean, AI might be able to do some of the administrative tasks, but there's no way AI can replace doulas. You're not going to have a robot postpartum doula helping your family get sleep and get strong systems in their household. And certainly not going to happen in the birth setting either.
Right. Oh my gosh, no. Yeah. Can you imagine having like a robot listening to your birth story and reflecting that back to you? Like, no, that's not going to happen. So,
Hopefully not.
no, yeah, hopefully not. I hope that's not where we're headed.
Yes. And one thing that we haven't touched on yet when it comes to an overall marketing plan that you got me to focus more of my efforts on is Pinterest. And
yes.
our listeners, whether they're expecting families or birth workers and postpartum doulas, is such a visual way to tell your story. And it makes complete sense with planning for this big life moment, whether it's nursery decor and your birth plan and all of the different templates. So you did a consultation with me years back and got me fired up about Pinterest, and I'm still going strong on that platform.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love it. Yeah, well, I think it could be such a goldmine for doulas because parents are there, like you said, searching for nursery decor. And my plea to parents is like the time, if you're going on Pinterest or wherever, putting time and energy into making a cute nursery, like please put the same amount of time and energy into planning your birth and planning your postpartum and learning as much as you can. So if you're using Pinterest to plan your nursery, like please also use it to find a doula or find templates about or what you need to be asking to your providers and what you need to be learning about interventions in birth. Please use it as a tool. And then to the doulas, like know that parents are hanging out on Pinterest and that, again, you've got to show up there. And then just from a marketing perspective, Instagram and TikTok are great, but you post something there and it's pretty much, it lives on your feed. And yes, parents can go back and look at it, but it kind of has like a short shelf life. Like Pinterest pins are there forever.
Right.
Just keep getting seen over and over again. So,
and it's a search engine similar to the way YouTube is. And YouTube is very beneficial for sleep consultants. It's harder for postpartum doulas. I mean, I have some videos on there, but certainly childbirth educators. And after I teach a class, I talk about going back to some breath work videos and some affirmations, if that's something that resonates with particular students. So giving them some videos that they can utilize after a class is helpful. So for doulas who are in the education space, that would be a good tool to be able to build their business and separate themselves from their competition.
Absolutely. I mean, so if you think about it, like as parents or as people, we go on Instagram or TikTok when we want to like distract ourselves and like be entertained. And that's fine. But we go on YouTube and Pinterest when we're looking for something, like when we have a question. And so, like you said, the YouTube and Pinterest are both search engines, and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, that's social media. So as doulas, like your content needs to be different, or your strategies on these platforms need to be different. And the more I'm starting to call it like a marketing foundation, the more of a foundation you could build where you are kind of everywhere. So, and for the parents, like that is, to me, that gives you legitimacy. Like I wouldn't hire a doula that only had a TikTok channel. I would want to, and not that my doula would have to have TikTok and Pinterest, but if you have a few YouTube videos up, if you have a good solid website, if I can pin a few things on Pinterest, it gives you legitimacy that you have been around a while, you know your stuff, you are experienced enough that you've had time to set up all this stuff, all over the internet. So I think it's in doula's best interest to spend the time to do that. And then I think it's in parents' best interest to scroll around to all of it and learn as much as you can about the doula you want to hire.
So are your clients or doulas you consult talking about Reddit? I have seen so much more traction in our space and questions being asked related to like finding a doula or a particular class. And I don't really know what to do with Reddit other than I scroll and respond as needed, but it feels like it's really trending in our industry.
Yeah. It is. And again, because it's a search engine and people are going there for answers. And the other thing is Chat GPT. That's what a big topic we've been talking about in my doula village is people are starting to say like, oh my God, my last contract, like they found me from Chat GPT. So like learning what you need to do to be the doula that Chat GPT recommends. And like you said, paying attention to the fact that Reddit is a new platform where parents are going for information and that you have to spend a little time scoping that out, check it out.
I find if I've got a few minutes to scroll and waiting for kids' sporting event pickup, and I might check out Reddit now. And LinkedIn, again, I don't know how to fully utilize it for our profession. I find that for employer benefits and things like Carrot Fertility and interacting with brands, it's better for me, but I don't see a whole lot of doulas outside of agency owners in that space. And people have never found me and hired me as a doula through LinkedIn. So but that's another tool and gives more of the professional background of someone in the birth and baby space.
Yeah. So I always tell the doulas I work with, like, yes, like create a LinkedIn profile and with a link to your website, a link to your Instagram, but you don't, as a doula, need to be spending much time on LinkedIn. I feel like when people are on LinkedIn, they're in like work mode. If you're pregnant and you're on LinkedIn, like you're on there for work, you're going to go look for your doula and set up your nursery on Pinterest and Instagram. So I don't think it's just not the logical place where you would go looking for a doula.
No, it's more PR about what the doula's done. And, you know, I post about our diaper drive and giving back and awards we've won, but it's not necessarily going to be the feel good, hire me as your doula post that I would share elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So anything else that you're seeing as far as trends? We haven't talked about platforms like Doula Match to find the perfect doula and understand budgeting, but what else are you talking about in your doula village community?
Yeah. Doula Match is great. And I think, the thing is, here's what I tell my doulas in my doula village is that there's a new doula directory website popping up like every month. I feel like there's a new one and we can go crazy trying to get on all of them. And I just think it's a waste of time, honestly, because if we as doulas don't know about the doula directory sites, that means parents sure don't. Like parents are going to Google it. Parents are going to go to Pinterest. Parents are going to look on Instagram. They're going to ask ChatGPT. They're not Googling like doula directories. So, but then there are like certain cities where Doula Match or Born Beer, however you say it, are really popular. So if you know in your community, if you hear parents talking about it or other doulas talking about it, like absolutely, yes, go make a profile. But I think your time is better spent working on the SEO, search engine optimization of your website. So you're ranking in Google searches, like doula near me on Google is going to get you so much more leads and inquiries than spreading yourself thin on all these doula directory sites. So that's my
take. And for families who are searching again, doula in New York or Grand Rapids, and is going to give you more options than trying to find the directory that is relevant to your area. Because you said there are many of them popping up, but doesn't mean that as doulas, we want to pay for a membership or trust that it will be around a year from now.
Right, exactly. So the only other thing that I've like hearing murmurings of in the marketing world is Substack. But I don't know if that it really does make sense for a doula that's promoting their local in-person services. Maybe it is if you love writing and are really artistic and want to put up beautiful pictures and make a Substack. But yeah, that's the only other thing I'm really hearing murmurings about. But I don't know, purist, I guess, like you said in my intro, my background is in marketing and advertising back in the 90s and early 2000s. So I really encourage doulas to stick with the basics. A good website with good SEO, presence on Instagram, a presence on Facebook, a little bit of a presence on Pinterest. Like get yourself out there where at the end of the day, marketing always comes down to like, where are parents hanging out? where do you have to position your business so that they find you easily?
I agree. And it's harder to get together in person. I feel like some events don't
Yes.
perform the way that they used to, that I
Mhm.
still invest in. And so, yeah, even though that in-person relationship and connection is important, the attendance at events since the pandemic hit have declined
Oh, yeah.
for some reason. So it's almost like you have to do a little bit of everything, as you mentioned. But
Yeah.
I do put a lot of weight on sharing blog content and newsletters. And you can't control if TikTok is going to get shut down or you can't get on your Facebook account. But if you're able to send a newsletter with your audience, or for our expecting families that want good information to subscribe to a newsletter, or take a look at their blog content or a podcast like yours and my Ask the Doulas podcast to get more of a feel, then, because we don't know, again, if TikTok is going to get banned or if Facebook is down for the day. And if that's your only source for your business or how you find a practitioner, then we're all in trouble.
Right. That is such a good point. Like at the end of the day, as a business owner, you really have just your website and your email list. Everything else is owned by Mark Zuckerberg.
Right. And it's harder to find unless you pay. So,
right. Yeah. And
to buy ads.
Right. And just a friend of mine, today she just got out of Facebook jail. She doesn't know what she did, but for a week she couldn't post on Facebook, and she was like, this is really exposing like how much she depends on Facebook for her business. Like you said, she had no control.
Right.
It was just awful.
Yeah, you get hacked, or again, you get in some violation you didn't mean to post a flag for breastfeeding or something.
Exactly. That's such a good point, to make sure you have the blogging, the emails, so that you can still stay in contact with your people.
Absolutely. Any final tips for our listeners, Darcy?
Oh, I think we covered it all. I think my final tip for parents is to do your due diligence. Don't just hire a doula based off of friends' recommendation. Like, really check them out, make sure their training is legit, their certification's up to date, they have the experience. And this is what I tell people who call my agency, interview a couple different doulas because it comes down to that connection. So interview a few and see who you really connect with. So put in the work to find the best doula for you, and it will pay off in your making your birth and or postpartum experience so much better.
I agree. It's all about connection, not only in feeling confident with their background and training, but their personality.
Yes.
And approach.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me, Kristen.
Thanks, Darcy. I could talk to you forever. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
So I have a website, thedoulardarcy.com. That's all geared towards doulas. If you happen to live in Dover, New Hampshire, and need a postpartum doula, my agency website is doverdoula.com. But I have a great quiz for doulas, thedoulardarcy.com/quiz. It will tell you which trimester your doula business is in, and then give you some personalized marketing tips based on the quiz results. So that's really fun.
Oh, fun. And you're on Facebook, Instagram.
So yes. And everywhere I'm just the Doula Darcy. So yeah, send me a DM on Instagram if you heard this, at the Doula Darcy. And I have my own podcast, which is the Doula Darcy podcast. So I'm pretty easy to find.
One of my favorite podcasts. So thank you so much for your time, Darcy. And we'll have to chat again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Doulas. For more information about Gold Coast Doulas, visit us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you. Remember, these moments are golden.